Top of the morning to you. You're welcome to Flip TV Morning News. I am Anila Omolara. News headlines. FG blames opposition for food crisis. APC makes U-turn, declares Edo governorship primary inconclusive. FG to raise $10 billion to boost FX liquidity. Tinubu. 15 jailed for obstructing pedestrian bridges. Obasanjo's $8 billion power plant helping Nigeria. Now the news in detail. The federal government has attributed the nation's present food crisis to opposition elements. This happened at the same time that the administration declared it had discovered 32 new smuggling channels that were being used to export food products. However, the federal government claimed that forces that are hell-bent on plunging this country into a state of anarchy are to blame for the current economic difficulties. It accused those who lost the last election of staying in political mode and acting against the interests of the nation since assuming office 9 months ago. The Tinubu administration said it had removed long-standing subsidies on petrol to save the government monies for infrastructural expansion. However, reports by the International Monetary Fund said the government had secretly reintroduced subsidies to stem an uncontrollable rise in cost of living. However, the president insisted that the country was on recovery path, refuting claims from governors elected on People's Democratic Party who likened the Nigerian situation to Venezuela. On the same note, the president called on Nigerians to band together against forces determined to weaken the country, citing the recent interception of 45 trucks carrying maize heading for a neighboring country. Tinubu stated just 3 nights ago, 45 trucks of maize were caught being transported to a neighboring country. In the Ilela axis, there are 32 illegal smuggling routes, and the moment those goods were intercepted, the price of maize fell by 10,000 naira. According to him, with economic revitalization as its top priority, the federal government has a target of raising at least $10 billion in order to increase foreign exchange liquidity that will in turn stabilize the naira. However, he noted that decades of mismanagement and underutilization have plagued the country's assets spread across Nigeria and outside the borders, leading to revenue losses that have hindered economic growth. The chief spokesman for Labour Party campaign organization Yunusa Tanko described the state from the presidency as very hypocritical. Tanko stated that it was shameful of the current administration to be seeking for people to blame for the manner they allegedly mismanaged the economy. He stated they should blame themselves and quit the office if they know they are incapable of performing and not tell Nigerians to be patient after 8 months in the office. In other news, the All Progressive Congress National Working Committee has declared the poll inconclusive in the wake of the controversy surrounding the last Saturday's governorship primary election in Edo State. Felix Moka, the party's national publicity secretary, made this announcement on Tuesday following an emergency meeting between the NWC and the party leadership at the party secretariat in Abuja. The poll, which was conducted on February 17, yielded three results. Dennis Idahosa was declared the winner by the chairman of the electoral committee of the primary governorship election, Governor Hope Uzodinma, while on Monday, Okpebholo was declared the winner by returning officer Stanley Ugboaja. Ojo Babatunde, who claimed to be representing the returning officer in all the local government, declared Anameru Dekere as the winner of the election. Following the confusion that ensued, both Dekere and Okpebholo had written the appeal committee of the party to demand their certificate of return. Another aspirant, Professor Onsumbo insisted on Tuesday that no election held in the state contrary to the results they were announced. On Tuesday, February 20, 2024, was an emergency meeting to review the report on the Edo governorship primary election. After careful consideration, the party's National Working Committee decided that the governorship primary election was still ongoing and set Thursday, Friday 22nd as completion date for the APC Edo State primary election process. Proceeding, President Bola Tinubu says the federal government wants to raise about $10 billion in revenue to increase liquidity in the foreign exchange market. Tinubu, who was well represented by Vice President Kashi Shettima, made this announcement on Tuesday in Abuja at the first Public Wealth Management Conference, which was held under the theme Championing Nigerian Economic Prosperity and was organized by the Ministry of Finance Incorporated. The president claimed that his administration will create millions of jobs by utilizing Nigeria's vast public assets to maximize and double the country's GDP.
Key priorities are at the forefront of this agenda. Firstly, we must focus on increasing economic growth by investing in key sectors such as agriculture, manufacturing, and technology. Secondly, we must work to create more jobs for our citizens, particularly for our young people and women. And thirdly, we must attract more investment capital to Nigeria to support our growth and development. More recently, the federal government set a goal to raise at least $10 billion in order to increase foreign exchange liquidity, a key ingredient to stabilize the Naira and grow the economy. At the heart of these goals is the imperative to expeditiously mobilize resources. The mandate and restructuring of the Ministry of Finance Incorporated MOFI represents a new chapter focused on harnessing our public wealth more strategically for growth and optimization. MOFI's role as custodian and active manager of the investments of the federal government now places it at the epicenter of our economic development agenda. MOFI is charged with bringing expertise, transparency, and accountability to help in the realization of prosperity for our nation. I am confident that public assets will now deliver significantly higher returns through improved corporate governance, innovative private partnerships, and by attracting.
Also, according to the Lagos Environment and Sanitation Corps (OKAI), 15 of the 17 criminals found guilty of impeding pedestrians on the Bolade Oshodi pedestrian bridge have been sentenced to 3 months in prison without possibility of a fine. The 2 charges against the accused, which border on breach of peace and unlawful confiscation of government property to use by occupation, were brought against them, according to LAGESC spokeswoman Ajayi Lukman on Tuesday. They appeared before the Lagos Special Offences Court, Bolade Oshodi, on Monday. S.A. Adefioye, a magistrate president, over the proceeding. Finally, about 17 years after he left office, the federal government has commended the investment of President Olusegun Obasanjo in the power sector. Obasanjo had been criticized by many who said there was nothing to show for his reported $16 billion investment in the power sector. In 2018, the House of Representatives described the $16 billion reportedly spent on power projects by Obasanjo's administration as a colossal waste. Also, the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project in 2016 called for an investigation into the expenditure. Adelabu, who spoke on Channel Television News Night program, said the power plants built under Obasanjo's administration are still visible, stating that 7 out of 10 projects were completed and enough to serve the nation. And that's the Flip TV Morning News. I am Anila Omolara. Thanks for staying with us.